Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Monkeying Around Reviews. Today we are looking at the Bond. This is a RF controller for your ceiling fans. It works with a lot of other RF devices, but it's mainly advertised as a wireless ceiling fan controller. If you've watched a few of my other videos, you'll know that I have the Broadlink RM Pro. I bought that to control the TV and the ceiling fans in my house. Sadly, my ceiling fans are on a different RF frequency than what the RF Pro can use. So this supposedly can work with almost any RF frequency that your ceiling fans can use. I couldn't find a list of any of the RF frequencies on their website, so I figured I'd just get one and give it a shot, and hopefully it'll work with everything I have in the house. So let's go ahead and open this up and see what's inside. So first there happens to be a sticker that you peel off here on the side. And we're going to, there's one on the other side as well, but I think we can just push it right on through. The case comes off to this end. We can pop this off, this tape here. Just rip that right on off. And then this should open up. There seems to be a packet here on the top. Instruction manual and other products that it'll work with soon. So this instruction manual is pretty small. It's a smart device that works with an app. So I'm pretty sure the app's going to take us step by step through it. And it'll say that soon it'll be working with humidifiers, garage doors, motorized shades, motorized windows, smoke detectors, electric fireplaces, split and window AC units, and doorbells. So that's a lot of different devices that it plans on working with in the future. So the box itself here, take off this cover, and inside you have the Bond itself. It's a small little puck. USB cable for power. And USB plug. And under there, nothing. So that is it. So what is in the box? Instruction manual, the Bond itself, and power. And that's it. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Play Store, download the Bond app, and start syncing and see how this works. Be right back. Alright, so I got the Bond all powered up. You can see some LED lights flashing on it. I have not done any pairing or any setup to it whatsoever other than just plug it in. This is not where it's going to be living in the house, but this is the room where I want to put it. I'm going to probably put it on the shelf right behind me because this is a nice centralized location to be able to hit all of the ceiling fans that are in the house. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my phone and I'm going to open up the Bond app that I have recently downloaded and created an account on. So we're going to switch over the phone and you'll be able to see what I'm doing as I do it. Alright, so as you see, I'm here in the Bond app and it says right here, add a new one. So I'm going to click on that and it's going to tell me to connect to the Bond config Wi-Fi. So I'm clicking on that. It's connecting to the Bond Wi-Fi, disconnecting from the house Wi-Fi. And in a couple of seconds, hopefully it'll find it. Go to the device settings to join the Bond Wi-Fi. Okay. Connect. All right, so I'm going to hit the back button. I'm going to add one again. Now it's connecting to the Bond Wi-Fi, scanning for the Wi-Fi networks. Now it's asking which Wi-Fi network I want the Bond to normally connect to. And now it's going to connect and configure the Bond. And now it says it's connecting. Bond has been successfully configured. Done. And now we're on this page where it's showing it on the network. So what we're going to do is choose Add Device. And this is where you start adding the ceiling fans or the electric fireplaces. And then you can start seeing the available soon and the betas for the other things that it's going to be controlling soon. So we are going to control a ceiling fan. So I'm going to choose ceiling fan. And then I'm going to hit next. So it says select a function that matches your real remote's control function. So I have a Honeywell remote right here that controls my fan. On it is lights, power, and then speed control. So we are going to look at the power button. So I'm going to click on the power button. And it says place remote controls close to the bond within 2 feet. And then hit next. And then we're going to program it. So I'm going to hit power and I'm going to hold it until I see a green light. And then I let go. Now it's trying to find my remote control. It says, do you have a 3-speed or a 6-speed? I have a 3-speed. Done. We found your remote control. Please test the buttons by pressing the buttons below. All right, so I'm now in the room that has that ceiling fan remote control to control it. And you can see it here right behind me. So now when I hit the light button, it comes on. I hit it again and it turns off. I can turn speed 1 on and the fan has started, and I can hit the power off button and the fan is turned off, and you will see that in a few seconds. So is this your remote control? And my answer is yes. So there we go. It is all set up. So we're probably going to want to name this. Let's go back to the room here. I'm over by the bond again. So you saw how simple that was. The bond is already set up and working with that fan. So I am now going to hit the settings button here, and I want to name that device. We'll call that living room fan. The location is in the living room. All right, and there we go. I'm going to now set up the bedroom fan. This is a Hampton Bay fan, so it is a different brand controller. Let's get out of this. Let's add a device. It's another ceiling fan. Hit next. And then same thing, we're going to hit the power button. Hit next. And then I am going to press and hold the button down until it turns green on the bond. All right, so my power button did not do anything. So I'm going to go back out, add the device, ceiling fan, and I'm going to try to do the light on button instead. Hold that button down, and that didn't do anything. For some reason, it's not letting me do this fan. All right, so we got the first room added. It was with a Honeywell remote, and it worked flawlessly. Now, I've been trying to add the second room, and I keep having to stop the recording because it's just not working. I'm using this Hampton Bay remote, and it's just not finding it at all. So we're going to try it again. I'm going to hit Add Device, Ceiling Fan, just as always, Power, Next, and then I'm going to hold the power button right here. And the slow blue flashing light on the bond is supposed to be moving to a fast blue flashing light when it's reading the signal, and it's just not doing it. So no matter what I do, it's going to error out. And I don't know if it's because it can't connect to the bond server or it's this remote at all. So I'm going to go ahead and stop recording, try this a couple of times, and if it works, I'll let you know what I did. If it doesn't work, I'll just let you know that it's not working with the Hampton Bay remote. All right, so I'm going to hit Add Device, Ceiling Fan. We're going to try the power, next, and then I'm going to hit the power button and hold it until the green light comes on the bond. And there we go. So it's trying to find the remote control in our database. It says tap on the button below to see if it works. Test me. So let me go into that room and take a look. All right, so it took a while, but I got the bond all set up and it's working with Alexa and it's working with Google Home. Now, it did take a while to get it all to work. So let me go through each brand that I have out here and explain what happened. So the Honeywell remote worked perfectly. It synced, all the buttons worked, it's following everything like it's supposed to. The Hampton Bay remote, this took forever for it to sync. I finally got it to sync. It took like 5 or 6 tries for the light on the bond to go green, which means it read the RF. And this is going to drive you crazy. Like I said, I did get it to work and everything's working fine with it, but it was a pain. The third brand in here is Harbor Breeze. This one worked as well, but it took a while. Not because it couldn't find the RF signal, but because the programming was more of a manual programming. I had to go through and program each and every one of these buttons separately. It wasn't like the other remotes where I clicked it and it found what the remote was. I actually had to do each one separately. Now, it worked fine. There wasn't an issue with doing it, but it is a little bit more of a process. So out of these 3 brands, the Honeywell worked great with the bond. If you have Honeywell remotes in your house, this thing's gonna work amazingly with it. Harbor Breeze will work as well, and so will the Hampton Bay, but just be aware that it was a process to get them programmed with the bond. So once I sunk them to the 2 devices, it was just as easy as saying, the name and then turn on bedroom light or turn on bedroom fan. Turn bedroom fan to speed 1 or to low or to medium or to high. So yeah, you can say low, medium, high, or you can say 1, 2, and 3, since all mine are 3 speeds. It reads both. So on and off commands for those work. So one cool thing that the software has is a track the toggle command for the lights. So if you're only going to use the voice command, I recommend turning it on. But if you also are going to be using your remote control with it, and your remotes are like mine where there's a single light feature button on here, do not turn that on. If your remote has a light on and a light off button, that toggle will still work. The reason I'm saying that is, if you are following the toggle and you're using just the voice, on, off, it's doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. But let's say that you've turned it on with the voice, and you've come on with the remote and you've turned it off. So the light is already off. But the system thinks the light is on because through the voice you've set on. And now you say, turn all lights off, because you've grouped all your lights together. All the lights in the house will turn off, but that one that you turned off manually with the remote will now turn back on because it already thought it was in the other state. So it'll get a little confusing. It actually got a little annoying for me, so I just turned off that track toggle feature and I ungrouped them. So all in all, the bond is doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. I've got 3 different brands of fans in the house, and it is talking to all 3 brands. It controls the fan speeds, it controls the fan's lights, it does everything that these remotes are doing. So for that, I recommend it. But I do want to stress once again that on some of the brands, it might be a little bit of a hassle to get it to be programmed. But once it's programmed, it works perfectly. And hopefully in the future, this will be controlling a lot more than just the fans. As you were seeing in the app and on that card, it was listing a whole bunch of other devices that it's planning on using in the future. Once again, this has been Monkey Around Reviews with the Bond Ceiling Fan Controller. If you have any questions, please make sure to ask so below and I'll try to answer them to the best of my knowledge. And if you've used a bond, I'd love to hear your experiences. And as always, make sure you subscribe.